Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's edition of The Situation. It has been a while since we ran this program, actually a live program like this one, and a lot of things have been happening in the country. And today we will be talking about the CRA revenue formula or revenue allocation. Together with me here is Mr. John Jogu, who is a well-known figure. So John Jogu, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, we will be talking about the stalemate at the Senate and the CRA revenue allocation formula. Now, before we get into deeper into the program, I want us first of all to understand what the Constitution says as far as the revenue allocation formula is concerned. Now, Article 200 B, Schedule 3 of the Constitution affirms that the public finance system shall promote an equitable society, and in particular, expenditure shall promote the equitable development of the country, including by making special provisions for marginalized groups and areas. Now, Article 203, Part 1 says, Article 203, Part 1 actually itemizes some of the factors, the variables that are used in the revenue allocation formula. They include population as a factor, equitable share, development indices, poverty, among others. Now, Mr. John, can you bring us to speed with what generally is going on at the Senate?
Well, I think the first thing that we need to wake up to is the fact that the Senate is very late in discussing this formula, because this formula was given to them by the CRA all the way back last year, and up to now they have done nothing concerning it. So the first question we need to ask ourselves is this: why is our Senate taking all that time not to debate about a formula that is going to assist Wanjikos? Why has it taken them so long? Mm-hmm. That is the very first question that we need to ask ourselves as the voters. Why has it taken the Senate one whole year to discuss on the finances that are supposed to be sent to us, the Kenyan people? We are the people who are voting them in, and I don't understand why it should take all this time for the Senate to do what they are supposed to be doing. They should have discussed this, and they should have involved all the stakeholders that they needed to involve. For example, the people dealing with the finances of the country, that is the treasury. They should have also involved Parliament, which normally discusses the finance bills. So they are running right now when it is too late for them.
Yeah,
which is a failure for the Senate.
They delayed a bit in actualizing or discussing the CRA formula that is given. But then the issue is so emotive, is so volatile that discussing it requires, a lot of a give and take spirit, and this is what the Senate is lacking at the moment. We've seen a lot of things going on at the Senate. There's a stalemate there, heckling going on, and no agreement has been reached so far.
Because this one has been overtaken by events. The politics of the day are dictating how the Senate is dealing with this right now. Had they discussed this before, when they had all the time, they could have discussed it when their minds are sober. Right now, they are being dictated by the politics of the day.
So who is fooling who here? Well, we can see two different, factions in the Senate. We have Team Kenya and we have the government side.
Well, I may not be an expert in matters pertaining these formulas. I may not be an expert in law, but on the other hand, I'm not stupid. Because we Kenyans, we can see what is going on. The Senate of the Republic of Kenya is not thinking about the Wanjiko. The Senate of the Republic of Kenya, they are only thinking about themselves. That is why you see in this Senate, it has some functions. There's one team calling itself Team Kenya, and I hear from some rumors that they even want to register this Team Kenya as a party. And there is the other function, and all of them are lying to us that they are thinking about us, the Wanjikos.
So generally, what is the formula? The team of the government side is advocating for a 1 man, 1 shilling formula. They are saying that money should follow functions. So they are looking at counties, and some of the parameters they are considering is population. How populous is a county? What are the development indices in this county? What is the poverty index of the county? The service delivery, and so on and so forth. These are some of the variables that they are using. But therefore, it's like they have put a lot of weight on, population and ignored some other variables, because poverty, which was weighted very highly in the previous formulas, this time round has dropped to almost 17%. So what is going on here?
Truth be told, we are all Kenyans, and we are all equal. Whichever part of the country that you come from, I mean the county, within Kenya, we are all equal, and we all deserve to be served by the government, right? So we have to face the truth as it is. Some counties are more developed than other counties. I mean, you cannot compare Kiambu and a county like Turkana. You cannot compare Marsabit with a county like Nyeri, for example. These counties that are in the northeastern part of our country, some counties in the coastal region, there are some counties that are underdeveloped. This is a fact. And therefore, even as much as we want to discuss this formula, we must bear in mind that some of the counties in our country deserve more development because they are underdeveloped. So even as we discuss these formulas, the national government must come out clearly and make sure that they develop those counties that are less developed, to try and pull them at least closer to the counties that are developed.
So in other words, what we are trying to say here is that counties, of course, are not autonomous. They still belong to a larger region called Kenya, the country called Kenya. And therefore, development taking place must be on some equal pedestal.
Exactly.
In as far as the formula advocates for, giving a lot of money to counties that are already developed at the expense of this other country, because we see that in this formula, 19 counties are actually losing. And if you look at these counties that are losing, most of them are the underdeveloped counties that you're talking about right now. So development is one thing. So what about population? Do you think that population, I think, is it 20% or something, 18% given to population?
It was 18%.
18%.
Let me make this clear because it is very important. The money that is being given to the counties vis-a-vis the development of the county, I think we need to be very clear here. For example, when you talk about roads, this money that we are giving to the counties, I don't think we can use them for road construction. This is where I'm saying the national government must prioritize development in the counties that are underdeveloped. Go to those counties, look at how many kilometers of road that needs to be done. It's very important so that you can open up those counties for more development. It is very important. So the national government must prioritize these counties, to put more money to develop these counties so that at least these Kenyans can feel they are part of our country. So in as much as we try to debate about all these allocations, the first thing is that the national government must allocate enough development money for those counties. It's very important.
We also know that, some functions are devolved to the counties and some functions are not. Exactly. For example, road construction, is it devolved to the county or it is a shared responsibility?
It is a shared responsibility.
Between the county government and the national government?
There are those roads that must be done by the national government. The whole country. The whole country. I think counties only come in what we refer to as the rural, those rural roads.
Yeah.
Right? But the roads that fall under the Kenya, they must be done by the national government. It must be done by the national government. Look at the issue of railway. It has to be done by the national government.
All right. So in other words,
some of these issues of development, the national government must come out clearly and develop those counties that are not.
So in other words, what we are trying to say is that the formula is not good as it stands. The formula is not good for for devolution. It's more of undermining, devolution as it stands. So are the amendments necessary to make sure that at least the formula is favorable to all the 47 counties?
We are a country that is governed by law. So we still have to go back to the Constitution and look at what the Constitution says about the monies that are going to be allocated to the counties. As simple as that.
The Constitution is saying that when funds are being disbursed to the counties, it has to be done in a manner that promotes equitable share of the national resources, including finances. So if some counties are gaining and some counties are losing, then that by itself goes against the spirit of the Constitution. Or devolution.
When I listened to the deliberations at the Senate, there were two key words that were coming out. There was this word, I don't know why the senators were bringing these two words, and I don't know whether it is all a matter of confusing Kenyans. They were talking about equity and they were talking about equality. Right? So as for me, what concerns me is this. Let the national government develop the underdeveloped counties. That's number one. Number two, let the money follow functions. It's as simple as that. Let's not debate about this statement that people are bringing, which is not a very good statement. As far as I'm concerned, talking of 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, it's not a good thing, because in the end we know where it is heading to. It is not good, because those who are advocating for that, they want to increase the number of constituencies and to take all the Kenyan money.
Already one has it that the BBI is going to the parliamentary system direction, and we might have the executive prime minister. And the prime minister will be elected, the prime minister will come from the party with the majority, in parliament. So it is a well-crafted kind of a strategy,
That is why I told you in another forum that the worst enemy that we have in Kenya is the politicians. Politicians are our worst enemy. And like I was telling you jokingly, when you see a politician walking, you see a corruption case walking. Because all the corruption cases that we see in Kenya, you won't lack you won't lack a politician.
They're engineered
You
by
won't lack a
politicians.
politician. They are all there.
So the more the politicians, the more
The more the politicians,
the more
the more the
corruption
corruption
cases.
cases that we shall have. The
So
more the
you can
politicians,
imagine,
the more the corruption cases that
we are not
have.
saying that all politicians are corrupt, but majority of them are very corrupt, and this is a fact. And this is why Kenyans need to stand up. Let us stop being ignorant. Many Kenyans are now ignorant. We don't question stuff. We don't question things. The fact that this notion that he's our man, our thief.
This must come to an
This
end.
must come to an end.
This must come to an end. Seriously, it has to come to an
These
end.
people steal money. They enjoy money by themselves. They don't give even a shilling. But when it comes to defending them, we are on top.
Let me ask
we
you.
defend them.
Let me ask you. How many times have this Senate discussed this money bill? How many times? 9 times.
9 times.
Word has it that these senators have been blind to vote in a certain way. That is why we are saying they never think about the Wanjiku at all. So when you see them voting in a certain direction, then you need to ask yourself who has paid them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you see the Senate, the statement that the Senate is politically motivated. It is not our Jiko thing. So if you see a team calling themselves Team Kenya and the other side calling themselves whichever name, they do not have your interest at heart.
Exactly.
These people are always thinking about themselves, not us. And therefore, it is upon us as citizens to ensure that we put them to task at all costs. Because if we just keep quiet and accept whatever they give us, then we will suffer to eternity. We are doomed to suffer forever. So it is upon us citizens to make sure that we wake up. The time is now. There are lots of corruption cases going on. We just saw the other day the COVID-19 millionaires. And some of these politicians are also involved in this.
Exactly.
And now I was reading a paper today, and one interesting thing is that the politicians are actually now crafting to pass a bill in parliament so that they can they can extend the term of this parliament by a year.
I saw that.
They are claiming that COVID-19 has ruined everything, so the president cannot actually.
I was just laughing at myself
You see
saying
what's going on?
that now they are
Always
claiming
thinking about themselves.
that now they are claiming that 2020 is lost.
2020 is lost, therefore they have to recover 2020
So
by
they want to recover
extending their term.
2020.
You see that?
My goodness.
All there is money. They are looking at money. They are not thinking about you and me. They are thinking about their pockets.
If you look at the Senate the way it is right now, these senators are thinking about themselves now in terms of the bribes that they are receiving to vote in a certain direction. That's one. Number two, these senators, among them, there are those senators who are in their first term. So those in first term, they are thinking about their second term.
And probably
there are those senators
who want to
still-
become governors.
Those who have done 2 or more terms, they are thinking about becoming governors. So they all have their own vested interests. Is Wajiko appearing there? No. So it is the high time, and we are calling on all Kenyans. We must unite on this. Let's look back and ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? And how do we need to correct this? Personally, I think we need to reduce the number of politicians that are dictating our lives. So it is time to go back to Third Way Alliance, look at the bill that they had come up with, which had proposed a lean government, a few politicians, all right, and stopping all this duplication of roles so that at least this country can move. Otherwise, increasing the number of politicians, we are not heading anywhere. This country will be. I think that guy who had put the country on OLX, I think I think he had a reason to put the country there, because the more the politicians, the more the dangers that we shall be in.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how serious this matter is. And as citizens of this country, we need to call our politicians to action, and of course to ensure that they are very, very accountable. If you don't call for accountability, then they will always go scot-free with whatever they are doing. Let's wait and see what the 12-member committee, the committee chaired by Bungoma Senator Wetangula and the Nairobi Senator Honorable Sakada, let's see what they will come up with, whether there will be a compromise or not, and whether whatever they come up with will be favorable for you and me, the common man, the Wanjiko.
And you know the other danger with our Senate is this: they are advocating for allocations to the counties. Very right, it's true, it's good. But then, what about the governors being accountable to these finances? What happens when governors are accused of misappropriation of these funds? Eventually, they are brought to the same Senate. And in this Senate, we have seen them sanitizing some governors.
Yeah, sanitizing corruption cases.
And even these allocations you see the senators fighting for, we know as a fact that some of these senators are benefiting from these finances.
Absolutely.
Because once the allocations are sent to the counties, then these senators will usually go to the governors to ask for some kickbacks. It happens.
All right. We will continue with this debate in our next, program. But for now, we beg to stop there. And please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, do so. Click the subscribe button and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that anytime we produce videos of this kind, you get notified. Thank you very much for your support, and God bless you.
Thank you.